On to our continued focus now. Gorakhpur's Killa Hospital has claimed more lives. 16 more people have died, including 11 children at the BRD hospital. This takes the total death toll to 79 in the last 72 hours. The cause of death in the case of these 16 patients has not been ascertained yet. But remember, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Union Health Minister JP Nadda are scheduled to visit Gorakhpur later in the day. 16 more deaths coming in from the BRD hospital in Gorakhpur. Gorakhpur massacre, their shocking death toll number has now risen to 79 in the last 72 hours. The cause of the death, we understand, in these cases has not been ascertained as yet, but Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Union Health Minister JP Nadda are also scheduled to visit Gorakhpur later in the day. 16 more deaths, including 11 children who have died in the BRD hospital. In the last 72 hours alone, 79 deaths have taken place in Gorakhpur. We have Apurva joining us on the phone line. Apurva, 79 deaths, 16 deaths, more deaths have also come to light. Tell us what caused these deaths?
As of now, it is unclear, but with the entire spate of increase of deaths that is happening at the moment, the death toll has now risen to 79 at this point in time, out of which we're being told that 11 are children. While the entire news around the Gorakhpur tragedy that is being unfolded, the latest we are also picking up at this point in time is that Union Health Minister JP Nadda as well as UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath would be visiting the BRD hospital very soon to take stock of the situation, because remember, this clearly has got out of hand of the authorities as well, while a lot of pinpointing being happening, a blame game of sorts taking place in Gorakhpur as to who is really responsible for all these deaths. But so far, nothing has been ascertained as to the cause of the death is still not certain. While the MOS, the UP Health Minister Rajnath Singh had categorically said that these are not because of lack of oxygen supply, but it is to be seen what really happened in the course of the day after UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath as well as JP Nadda reaches the BRD hospital and takes stock of the situation.
Also, Apurva, now like you pointed out, the government has denied that lack of oxygen supply was not the cause of these deaths, and it was because of medical reasons. But we know so far that the college's dean has been suspended. And now, of course, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, along with Health Minister, are going to visit the hospital. What is in the schedule? Are they also likely to meet the family of these victims?
Well, yes, in fact, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath would be meeting the family of all these newborns as well, and also going to take the stock of the entire situation as to what is really happening inside the hospital. In fact, the latest also that is coming up is that the oxygen vendor, the Pushpa vendor, is to be probed as well for oxygen supply. So a lot of things really coming out at this point in time as far as this entire tragedy is concerned. Of course, Adityanath had also spoken earlier in the day asserting that BRD Medical College principal has been suspended for negligence, and the government said that the funds for the oxygen supplier were not released till August 11th, even though they had been cleared on August 5th. So a lot of things really there coming out, but right now the burning question still remains the kind of deaths that are still happening, and the cause is still not being known, while some are still contesting, saying it is due to oxygen shortage, which has been time and again refuted by the government officials as well. So it is to be seen really what happens, as well as the fact that raids were also conducted at the Lucknow-based firm that had allegedly stopped supply of oxygen to the hospital because the previous bills were not paid. So really, Amita, at this point in time, it is very unclear as to what is the main cause of these deaths happening. But of course, a very, very worrisome sign there with the kind of increase in deaths that are taking place. The latest, the death toll being up to 79, 16 more deaths reported this morning.
Also, Apurva, one quick question. Pushpa sales, of course, will also be probed, is what you said. But the legal advisor of Pushpa sales, whom we spoke to just yesterday, has told us that there were repeated reminders sent out to the hospital, and despite that, the hospital did not make any payments, and that the client had to then cut off the oxygen supply to the hospital.
Well, that's right. In fact, Times Network did speak to the vendor in this case, who seemed to say that the entire deaths somehow have been blamed on them, which is not true, which is not the case, which is what they're saying. But of course, this entire thing will be probed, and as they're saying that they had sent around 40 reminders since February for delay in payment, but they did not stop the oxygen supply, and this is the version that is coming in from the vendor. So it is to be seen what really comes out of the probe that has also been initiated against the vendor, whether there was any sort of negligence on their part, or what is it that has happened between the entire miscommunication between the hospital as well as the vendor that has literally costed around 79 lives.
All right, Apurva, many thanks for joining us with those details. 16 more deaths coming in, including 11 children at the Gorakhpur hospital, BRD hospital in Gorakhpur. And we understand that Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and the Health Minister JP Nadda are going to visit the hospital later in the day and take stock of the situation. Now, 2 days after 79, the total death number has now risen to 79. 79 innocent lives were snuffed out due to alleged disruption of liquid oxygen supply. No one is willing to take responsibility. The Uttar Pradesh government has denied that the deaths were caused by lack of oxygen. In fact, the Chief Minister yesterday attributed the deaths to an outbreak of Japanese encephalitis. Listen in.
स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी ने केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री श्री जेपी नड्डा जी को और केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्री कल्याण राज्य मंत्री श्रीमती अनुपमा पटेल जी को अनुप्रिया जी को यहां पर भेजा है। अनुप्रिया जी आज यहां पर आई हैं। मैंने उनसे स्वयं आग्रह किया था कि क्योंकि शाम को ही वो यहां पर पहुंची हैं, तो मैंने इस बात का आग्रह किया कि गोरखपुर मैंने स्वयं उत्तर प्रदेश शासन के 2 मंत्रियों को भेजा है प्रातःकाल, और दोनों लोग आने वाले होंगे। अच्छा होगा एक बार उनसे आने वाली रिपोर्ट का आप भी जायजा ले लें। मैंने सभी अपने दोनों मंत्रियों को वहां भेजा था, तो उनके सामने स्पष्ट किया था, एक, क्या सचमुच ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई से पे रोकने से ये मौतें हुई हैं? दूसरा, मौत के सही आंकड़े क्या हैं? तीसरा, इसमें लापरवाही किसके स्तर पर हुई है?
Now, it wasn't just negligence but collusion and corruption that killed over 79 children in the state-run medical college in Gorakhpur, and the Times Network has accessed shocking evidence that reveal the hospital supplier collusion. We spoke to a former supplier who revealed that the authorities of the hospital deliberately chose a supplier over 300 kilometers away in order to reap profits.
कोई भी जीवन रक्षक गैस इलाहाबाद है, यहाँ से 350 किलोमीटर जाना और 350 किलोमीटर आना, तो इतनी दूर से क्यों मंगाया गया? जबकि इतना बड़ा सप्लायर गोरखपुर में था। आप ये समझिए कि हमारा 1100 सिलेंडर पर डे का एक प्लांट है। अच्छा। और यहाँ डिमांड है आपके है 5 मेडिकल कॉलेज में 150 सिलेंडर की, और उसके बावजूद भी जो है बाहर से गैस लिया गया। हमारा टेंडर के आधार पर चल रहा था। उन्होंने एक तुरंत तत्काल ऑर्डर का एक वो सिस्टम बनाया, और तत्काल ऑर्डर ट्रायल ऑर्डर। अब इतने बड़े हॉस्पिटल में ट्रायल ऑर्डर बना के अब किसी नए आदमी को ऑर्डर दे देंगे जो इतने दूर बैठा है। जब सब चीज आप ट्रायल 15 साल कर लिए और 15 साल में किसी को मालूम नहीं हुआ कि ऑक्सीजन गैस होती क्या चीज है। मेडिकल कॉलेज नहीं, 200 किलोमीटर में आसपास, क्योंकि हमारी ऑफिस लखनऊ बनारस दोनों जगह है। कभी ऐसी स्थिति आती थी तो वहां से मंगा लेते थे। कभी भी किसी भी डॉक्टर को महसूस नहीं होने दिए कि ऑक्सीजन गैस की कमी क्या होती है।
और ये आपको छोड़ करके यहाँ से 200 किलोमीटर दूर,
350 किलोमीटर,
350 किलोमीटर दूर
एक साइड से जाना आना, और एक सिलेंडर 70 किलो का होता है गैस भरने के बाद।
ये बताइए, ये वो क्वालिटी कैसे दे सकते थे जो क्वालिटी मतलब कोई और भी लोकली जो दे सकता था?
जी,
इतना ट्रांसपोर्ट लगाने के बाद।
जी, अगर इसमें एक चीज मौके से आप देखिए तो एक 70 किलो के आइटम के ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में 250-300 रुपया तो केवल ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में खर्चा आएगा। तो उस रेट में कैसे सप्लाई कर पाएगा वो? तो मतलब क्या करना था कि मतलब इतने दूर से वो इस रेट में सप्लाई कर रहा है?
कितने समय तक जो है सप्लाई किया ऑक्सीजन बीआरडी मेडिकल कॉलेज में, और आखिर आपसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्यों लेकर दूसरी कंपनी को दिया गया, आपको कोई वजह नजर आती है?
एक्चुअल में देखिए, हम लोग 15 साल से कंटिन्यू सप्लाई कर रहे थे और टेंडर के आधार पे सप्लाई चलती थी। अब बात रही वजह की, तो वजह तो नहीं बता सकते, लेकिन बिना किसी आदेश के हमारी सप्लाई उन्होंने रोक दी, और बल्कि हमारी लास्ट में मार्च में भरी गाड़ी को उन्होंने वापस कर दिया। उसके बाद फिर हम लोग की सप्लाई रुक गई और उन्होंने इलाहाबाद की कंपनी इंपीरियल गैसेस को दे दिया ऑर्डर।
और जो कंपनी पुष्पा से सप्लाई कर रही थी, इसका क्या इतिहास रहा है? क्या पहले ऐसा रहा है कि इन्होंने कभी सप्लाई में कमी रखी हो, या जैसे आप बता रहे हैं कि पावर कट के टाइम पर आपने सप्लाई किया लेकिन ये नहीं कर पाए, इनका बकाया था?
पुष्पा गैस कंपनी अभी 2 साल से मेडिकल कॉलेज में सप्लाई कर रही है, क्योंकि मेडिकल कॉलेज में लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का टैंक लगा हुआ है, तो उसका सप्लाई करने का जो सिस्टम है वो पुष्पा गैस का है, और गैस फॉर्म में सप्लाई करती है इंपीरियल गैसेज इलाहाबाद की कंपनी। तो रही बात, हम तो जब तक सप्लाई किए आपके 15 साल के दरमियान, बीच में एक बार ऐसी भी स्थिति आई कि जब ग्रिड फेल हो गया था, उस समय भी हम सप्लाई किए, बल्कि आसपास जो नर्सिंग होम या ऐसे भी मेडिकल कॉलेज जो हमसे नहीं लेते थे, इमरजेंसी में हमने उनको भी गैस भेजा, मानवता को देखते हुए।
तो ये इसके पीछे आखिर वजह क्या नजर आती है आपको?
अब वजह तो भाई साहब ये शासन को देखना होगा कि जब एक लोकल इतना बड़ा सप्लायर जो सप्लाई की वजह से उसका ऑक्सीजन प्लांट बंद हो जा रहा है, क्योंकि उसको सिलेंडर नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं सप्लाई के, और जीवन रक्षक जो इतनी जरूरी गैस होती है, ऐसी क्या जरूरत थी कि उनको इतने दूर से लेना पड़ा?